really, really excited. Most of you all know by now we have the $100,000 Beachbody Challenge winner, Casey Walker, but I'm gonna say something first, because especially he happens to be, we're on the same team, and I'm gonna tell you something. In my business, you know, obviously I've achieved what other people would see as success, because I'm sure even when Julie stood up here and said, I'm a 15-star diamond, I'm on air, I mean, who cares about that? And it's like, me. But I think what the deal is that this business is so much deeper than just money. You know, there's so many other multi-level marketing companies that are about making money. But what's really special about this opportunity is we have the ability to change lives. And I'm at Summit this past year. I'm walking across the stage for Millionaires Club, for Elite, you know, and all of those things are fancy and special. And kind of like she said, I mean, cool. But there was nothing like sitting in the crowd with someone on your team being a finalist for the $100,000 grand prize. And it wasn't even then about the $100,000. It was just, I knew the work this man had put in. The blood, the sweat, the tears, the sacrifice. That's how you get results in your program. That's how you get results in this business. And to get to see him up there, and I mean, I didn't even care if he won, but honestly, I didn't win. I was probably going to charge the stage and like kill somebody, but it was just, and I know anyone that was there from our team was feeling the same way. It was just the biggest surge of excitement and energy and enthusiasm, and we all felt like we won. It bonded the team together. It was just nothing like it. So if you haven't submitted your results, submit them. If you haven't helped someone yet, help them, because it's possible, and there's nothing like that feeling of getting to pay it forward and root someone else on and hold them up and cheer them on, and it's gonna just propel your business forward. And to me, that is what Beachbody is all about. And Casey is not only the Beachbody Challenge winner, but to me a winner in life, and he is an amazing shining light if you've met him. So I'm so excited to get him to come up today and share with you so you all can see the person we're talking about. And please don't forget,
This is the spotlight they told me to stand in. I'm going to walk though, so. All right, thank you, Jessica, so much. So I'm diving right in. How many of you in your life do you desire to be perfectly miserable? None of you. Oh, okay. How many of you desire to be happy? Robin, you didn't raise your hand. Okay. Okay. All right. Well, my story is a story of perfect misery, and I'm going to share some stuff that I haven't shared before. It's uncomfortable, even though I'm a pastor, I speak. This stuff is pretty raw. It's raw for me anyway, and you may think, that's no big deal, but I'm going to share it. So this is my story of perfect misery. 6 years ago, I collapsed on my living room floor. I could hardly walk. My wife's an RN, and I told her while I was sitting in the living room, I was like, baby, I don't think I can walk. She's like, what do you mean you can't walk? And I hit the floor. Face plant, hit my nose, my face. I mean, it just collapsed. She couldn't get me off the floor. I had radiating pain in my rib cage. I had ant bites down my face. I couldn't hardly feel the right side of my body. They rushed me to the hospital. They thought, they did all these tests. They didn't know what was wrong with me. Finally, Erica's like, do a lumbar puncture. They did a lumbar puncture, which they missed the first time, and they hit a nerve, and it was, oh my gosh, the worst pain ever. But they found that my protein levels in my brain were triple what they should be. They thought I had Guillain-Barré. God, that light is killing me. I'm sorry. Sorry, I can't. Can I do that here? Is that cool? Yeah. Okay. All right. I just can see y'all. I just can't see faces that way. But they thought I had Guillain-Barré. They thought all these different things. Well, 6 years of basically radiating nerve pain, muscle spasms, IVIG treatments, pain meds, and prednisone or steroids. And I was miserable. And so, compound effect, I started eating a lot, started taking a lot of meds. Well, flare-up would come, I'd be in the hospital for a couple of weeks, I'd kind of shake it off, and I'm going to try to get a job. Well, as a pastor, I was trying to find churches. Well, this one church that I applied for, I told them, I said, listen, I have these flare-ups. I'm doing okay right now. I just want to be up front with you with what I have. He's like, no, you're our guy. Well, I had a couple of flare-ups during that course of that ministry. I was in the hospital in Dallas, and the deacons came to my hospital room, and they fired me while I was in the bed. I'm like, couldn't y'all waited until at least got to the parsonage to tell me? All this trauma. And I was on this pain pump, and I was just hitting that pain pump because trying to kill pain, because it was ripping my heart out. And not necessarily because of me, because my wife was 8 months pregnant, and they said we had a month to leave. And I said to them, I thought you said you would love us. I thought you said you would take care of us. And they didn't. So that sent me spiraling, not only emotionally, but even physically, because of the stress of losing. If y'all know anything about church ministry, being a pastor is incredibly hard. I don't care who you've talked to said it's easy, just get up there and speak. No, it's way more than that. So we get home, and I start loving a lot the pain meds, the Vicodin. And I really liked them a lot. And the day before my little girl was born, my wife walked into the bathroom and found that I'd taken a ton of them. Within 3 days. I had 80 pills, and I think I had 20 left. And I've never seen, I honestly thought she was going to say, adios, good buddy. Because it just freaked her out. As a nurse, she knows that going down this road would have been really bad. And I'm not addicted to stuff, but the pain of losing that position hurt so bad, and I just really didn't know what to do with myself. And so I just coped by taking meds. And so in the midst of that, I had another flare-up. Y'all may have seen the picture. I got my little girl on me. Well, during that time, they had me on so many different kinds of pain meds, which I guess I was addicted at that time. I would wet the bed at the hospital, and I was losing my dignity. I was losing a lot. And I know that sounds kind of gross, but man, it was real. It's what was happening. In fact, they gave me so much medicine at one time I coded. I blacked out. I woke up, and there was all these white coats in the room. It's like, I thought we lost you there for a minute. So life was perfectly miserable. Okay? I was depressed beyond anything. Thoughts of suicide. Every once in a while I would race in my mind. And that's legitimate. And so I was sitting in my chair after 2 weeks of being in the hospital, and T25, Sean T infomercial comes up. And I'm sitting back there. I wish I had a chair. I was half dorked. I'm like, I can do that. So it's 4 in the morning. I'm taking meds. I can't sleep. Prednisone. Anybody been on prednisone, steroids? Keeps you up, right? So I couldn't sleep. And I was watching this infomercial going, 25 minutes and there's this modifier. And I need to tell my wife this. And if y'all know Erica, anyway, she's a nurse, man, and she's seen me just in bad shape. So anyway, I said, honey, I want to order this program called T25. It's a workout program. She goes, you can't even get out of the chair. I was like, no, I think I can do this. I really think I can do this. And so after a lot of convincing and hiding behind her back and ordering it anyway, I ordered it, got it, and so I just started in my living room, just right here. It's $275, and I was just, this is where I live, squats, okay, that's good enough, And just because I was in such pain, I was still on medicine, I was still having these little flare-ups in my body, but I had a switch go off. And I told John, my buddy, who, man, thank God for you, man. Y'all give John a round, man. But anyway, I'm just barely moving in the living room, and within 3 days, I started to feel better. Beachbody sent me some samples, some Shakeology. I started to feel better. I'm like, honey, I feel better. She's like, what? She's like, how much is the shake? I go, $130 a month. You don't have a job. It's okay, babe, work more. Pick up the shit. No, I didn't say that. Yeah, I'm not so bad. But we got the shakes. I don't care how much it is. In hindsight, it's, saved my life, basically. I started feeling better. And after I got through T25, I was like, golly, this is legit. This is, oh my gosh, this is awesome. So I had lost my job. I had lost my dignity. I was depressed beyond you can imagine. I was losing my family. My 3 kids I could not play with. How many of y'all got kids? Think about what it'd be like. I hope you're not the parent that you take your kid to the park and you're on your freaking phone. Don't be that parent. Because I would have done anything to be playing with my kids. Okay? Anything. Sorry, I'm just a little passionate about that. Play with your kids. No, don't be so angry. Sorry. You see parents who kick back on their phone and they're watching the kids. Have fun. Play with those kids, man. You got one shot at them. Anyway, so my father-in-law's playing with my kids. I'm sitting there going on meds. I can't engage with them at all. And I start feeling better. I start playing with my kids. Life starts to make a turn because I wanted to be happy again. Y'all raise your hand. How many of y'all desire to be happy? Thank you. Raise your hand. I know you're happy. It's almost okay. But I wanted to be happy again. I didn't want to be sad and depressed. So I kept working. I kept moving. I kept pressing on because I knew I was onto something really special. I was getting my family back. I was getting my life back. The weight was coming off. And no, I have not had surgery or a freaking boob job, okay? I've done a lot of push-ups. People ask me, on the plane, you can come up here, now did you have surgery with those pictures? No, how'd you get your skin tight? I'm like, would you like me to drop my pants and show you some skin? Because it's a little below the belt, and I'm just not going to show that. It's there. I've got prednisone scars. It's not as pretty as it seems. But anyway, I was losing the weight, I was feeling better, and I was getting my life back. And it felt invigorating to me. I was able to go out with my wife and not be embarrassed to be beside her. I was going to share something that's really intimate, and I'm going to pass because she'll see it and say, I cannot believe you shared that story with me. Okay, I'll pass on that. I was going to, it's there, but I'll pass. Anyway, I was getting my wife back. Does that make sense? Okay. And that's important. It's important. So, life was coming together. And it was amazing because I had been so perfectly miserable, and to have something come into my life to change my heart, my perspective. I was one of those guys that I became fearful of man. I became fearful of what people think. I just became just would dig myself in a hole, and I just didn't want to be around anybody. And now I started to come out going, man, I finished T25. Then I finished P90X3. And then it said it in my life. And it just blew me away. It blew me away. So I started to feel better. But as I reflect back and as I was flying here, I started to think about you as coaches. And the quote that sticks out in my mind is, people dabble in much, but succeed in nothing. And if you dabble with this, with your workout, with your Shakeology, with your business, do you think you're going to succeed? You won't. People will dabble in much, but they succeed in nothing. But if you go all in, just like I'm so stubborn, and when I won the quarterly challenge, my wife and I went to celebrate at Outback, okay? And she's sitting there, we're eating, and she just, out of nowhere, and she didn't say this condescendingly, she says, I just didn't think you had it in you. And it wasn't like, I just didn't think you had it in you. No, it was like, you were so sick for so long, and you just flipped the switch, and now you won't stop. And like, you're just this animal, and like, I'm with the Beachbody Challenge WINNER, and all I want to do is eat pizza. You know? So I'm still working on her, but she's great. She's my rock. But I was just able to see that, you know what, there's light, there's hope. But if you dabble in your business, if you dabble with your workouts, you won't succeed. You won't reach your goals. Who gives a freaking crap that you got six-pack? Who cares? But if you feel good on the inside, if you feel good on the inside, that's all that matters. That's all that matters. Who cares about how defined you look or whatever? Now, are muscles good? Yeah, man, I dig them. I like them. Because it's a lot better than being that other guy. It's a lot better than being embarrassed that I can't fit in my clothes. So don't dabble with your business, and don't dabble with your workouts. Don't just sprinkle on a little Beachbody and then, oh, that's just not going to work for me. Do the work. Because I promise you, there were mornings I woke up. In fact, this past Easter, I had a flare-up, a pretty good one. And I was in good shape, but my autoimmune stuff flared up, my son got sick, I caught something, and when I get around someone who's got a certain kind of cold or whatever, my neurologist says, it'll put you down. So I was back in the hospital, and I was thinking to myself, there is no way, and I'm wearing a church, so I'm almost going to cuss, but I'm not going to. But there's no way, I said, there's no way in hell I'm going back. They're putting needles in my arms, I'm getting all these meds again, and I'm like, I'm going to start sharing Shakeology with everybody that comes in this door, just to get my mind focused and not to go back, because I was having these visions like, I'm just going to go back and be big again. So the doctors come in, you really don't need to be drinking that. I'm like, have you looked at the ingredients? No? Then how in the world do you know I shouldn't be drinking it? Okay, so I just kept drinking it. And you know what? I spent a week in the hospital, they gave me all the stuff to calm everything down, and within 2 days I was working out at home again. And that was a huge blessing. You know why that's a huge blessing? Because usually when I was in the hospital, it would take me 3 or 4 months to recover. And my wife was ready to kill me because she's like, you cannot be working out, you just got home. It's like, I don't care. Get back in this, you know? I'm going to get back in this. So my encouragement for you, and so what's your takeaway from this, is I don't know what your life looks like, but Julie said it. We will all suffer. It's not a matter of if, but when. And so when your win happens, and it may be now, you may be going through some hardcore stuff right now. I'm telling you right now, Beachbody will give you a way out. You work out, you have a network of people who love you. Yeah, we just met on Facebook, but I have instant connection when we get together, right? We're family. And what do family members do? We help each other. We support each other. We encourage one another. Brian Bachman has helped me more just with my business side when I just felt like whatever. And he just keeps coming at me. Freaking relentless. But I like that about Brian. He's hardcore like that. But don't dabble with this. You can have a lot of conviction with this and no action, and all you're left with is what? Just your conviction. You have to act. You have to do something. If I just watched those T25 infomercials and said, I could do that, and did nothing about it, didn't order it, I wouldn't be here, and I may not even be alive today. I overcame pain med addiction. I overcame dignity, just, wetting in the bed because of, around strangers in the hospital, and just, God, it was so embarrassing. I get to play with my kids again. My walk with my Lord personally means everything to me. And that's stronger than ever. So, what is your excuse for not going all in? And that's what I finally, and John and I talked on the way up here and at the Shannon's and Mike's houses. I want to reach people that are desperate. I want people that are desperate because the desperate people get it. Right? You get these no's from people that kind of want to just dabble in the Beachbody world a little bit. No, give me desperate people. Give me people who are like, man, I'm at the end of my rope here, and man, my radar goes up. So, are you dabbling? Are you dabbling with workouts? Are you dabbling with shape? Are you dabbling with workouts? Are you dabbling with reaching out? Reach out a little here, reach out a little there, and I hope I'll be a millionaire one day. And it's not going to work that way. Conviction coupled with action, and you'll be unstoppable. Right? Conviction with action, you will be unstoppable. And there's absolutely, positively nothing that you can't do. Because I have been at that end of my road. And it sucks. People in life, like those deacons, people suck. People are mean. Okay? They do horrible things. But you know what? It's the same way in life. You're going to come across people in your life that aren't great, but maybe they need your life the most to impact them. Right? Maybe they need you the most. So, I got my life back. I won the Beachbody Challenge. Blows my mind. And it was interesting, I'll share this, when Michael Lee was in the center and he moved Jessica Vu, he was moving people around, and he moved Jessica Vu in my line, and he says there's a winner in one line and one winner in the other. I thought I lost. Because Jessica Vu, y'all follow her? Oh my gosh. I just thought they had picked her. And they called my name, I freaked out, it was amazing. Dared to Dream is freaking amazing! Amazing family, man. Y'all cheering, I mean, y'all were like towards the back, and just the sound on that stage was just reverberating. I was like, oh my gosh. So awesome. I get chills still. So I won, I got home. John saw me on Yahoo, said, that guy can change my life, and he's lost 87 pounds, and he's kicking butt. All this cool stuff. Well, my wife wanted me to share this, and I need to share this. It's not been all great. Because I interviewed for a job at a church, because that's my calling. I love being a coach. This is what I'll live and die doing it, but being a pastor, that's my thing. And I interviewed for this job. And I wanted this job really, really, really bad, because it's one of those that I fit well. Went deep into the interview process, and they called me and said, you just have so much passion for Beachbody, we just don't think you'll be a good fit. And that just, boom, kicked me in the gut. It felt like I was back in that hospital room being fired by the deacons. Because it's such a lame excuse. And I knew they weren't being honest with me. And so that just sent me spiraling mentally and emotionally back down to this hole in my heart, because I was like, how can they say that? How can you not be a little excited if you lose 118 pounds and win some money? Why would you not be a little excited? Right? And it wasn't like I went in there and said, you know, Beachbody's everything to me. I'm going to sell to everyone here in the church. I never said that. But my commitment to the Lord, everything I made plain. I made clear. So that was just a gut shot to me. And I felt myself spiraling back down to that 275 person who, even though I lost all this weight, and I was like, no, I am not going to go there. Because, as I said earlier, it's not a matter of if we suffer, but when. Life will keep happening. As you exit these doors, and whatever your life situation is, and when suffering knocks on your door, in whatever shape, form, or fashion it comes in, reach out to one another. Reach out to your family. Don't keep that stuff in. Don't go to those dark places. Right, John? Don't go to those dark places. Because you have a network of family. Yes, we help people. We help change people's lives, but we help each other too. Right? We help each other too. Without Jessica, I mean, gosh, sending out emails, promoting on Facebook, I may not have won the thing anyway. But she was there for me. You know, sister in the Lord. I'm like, God, you sent out how many emails today? How many win? 1,400? It's like, who does that? Because their heart is so big, right? So when you start to suffer and you start to go through things, and let's say you're doing P90X3, it's just too hard. Reach out to someone. Keep pushing. Keep digging in. When you're doing the workout today and you feel like you're dying, you won't. You'll be fine. Push one another. Help one another. We are built for community. We are. Yes, we can be introverted, extroverted, but at the end of the day, we have to have each other. We have to have each other, or we're not going to make it. And so when I was sitting in my chair at 275, perfectly miserable, I had no one. And Beachbody came up and was that someone. It made all the difference in the world. It changed my life. It changed my life. So for you today, do whatever it takes to reach out, not just to other people, but for yourself. When you hit that workout, don't worry about the scale, don't worry about anything, but just go for feeling good. How many of y'all feel great after a workout? Yeah? Yeah? Feel amazing? Yeah. Endorphins are amazing, right? People can't hardly stand to be around you who are not working out. Man, this worked out. This feels so good. Like, God, that person's annoying. Who cares? But be everything you can be. Conviction coupled with action, you will be unstoppable.